What's happening, sports fans? How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Good Tuesday to you, and we're talking about the breakup that happened about a year ago between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless and Undisputed. Shannon would sit down with former NFL quarterback Cam Newton and talk about that, give his thoughts, and we're going to delve into that in this segment. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that follow button. Again, we're a year removed from the big breakup. After 7 years, Shannon Sharpe left Undisputed and his co-host Skip Bayless, and the breakup began actually way before June. Well, Shannon would sit down on the Funky Friday podcast with former NFL quarterback Cam Newton, and he would give his thoughts on this whole Skip Bayless breakup, and he had never really talked about it since then, and he pulled the curtains back a little bit. So here's some clips from that show of Shannon talking about the breakup. Then we're going to come back and I'm going to give my thoughts. Here is Shannon Sharpe on the breakup and him leaving Skip Bayless and Undisputed. Take a listen.
It was a combination of things. Maybe there are some things I could have done differently. Maybe I should have just had a conversation with Skip that before it even got to that point, maybe said something differently, but I don't know. It's really hard to say. I just think that that after 7 years and you with somebody, this is what I tell people about relationship. It's easier to grow apart than grow together. And maybe that was the 7 year, you have 17-year locust that they come once every 17 years. Well, maybe this was a 7 years, this was all I was supposed to get out of that. Maybe this was the bridge that I was supposed to travel on for 7 years. And then after that, that bridge was gonna collapse and was gonna force me to go do something else. If somebody else had said what Skip said, I wouldn't have batted an eye. But we're supposed to be teammates.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's what hurt me more than anything. My teammate, that's what he thought of me. It's kind of like when somebody else says something like, nothing gets you more upset than when your boys hit you.
Or somebody who really, you said 4 names, I know one of them was Sterling Sharpe.
Yeah, like my homeboy, and I know like we and my homeboys, we joke a lot, but I know where not to go.
It's to a degree.
Yes, you can joke, but let's not go there. Let's not play in that area.
Right.
And so I was like, and at that point in time, now here's the guy that I had stood up for Skip. When guys come on and try to take shots at Skip, I was there, I stood up. Nah, bro, this is not your show. This Skip and Shannon. This ain't you. You're not gonna take no shots. We're not gonna do that, so forth and so on. Thought it could have been handled could have been handled better by management, but it was handled the way it was handled. I thank Fox for the opportunity. And the only thing that I get upset about, what I hear people say, Skip gave you, Skip made you. Now, had I not made it, what would y'all have said? They wouldn't have said Skip was the reason why I failed. So in other words, when I'm successful, you give him all the credit and give me none of it. So if I'd have failed, you'd have gave me all the blame and gave him none of it. So the thing, I guess Jay-Z coined the line, if he made me,
make another me.
Yeah. Because that's what I did with kids. I had one and I was like, I'm gonna see if I can do this again. I did another one, and let me see if I can. So I was 3 for 3. So yeah, so it should be relatively easy if you can just spit guys out, because they say he made Stephen A. Okay, he made Shannon. I was visibly upset because if somebody would have told me that he would have done that to me, I wouldn't have believed it. But I appreciate it. I think one day we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation. Right. That hasn't happened yet. But he and I sit down and have a conversation because we did have 7 great years. Yes. And what I will not allow is that the 7 great years we had to be ruined by one moment.
Well, since the breakup, we all know the careers of both these men have went different directions. Shannon Sharpe's career has blown up. With Club Shay Shay, he has almost 4 million subscribers. With Nightcap, with Chad Ochocinco, he has 1.3 million subs. He's also won a Webby Award for Best Sports Podcast for Nightcap. Whereas Skip Bayless, Undisputed, is struggling. I looked up the ratings. I couldn't really find any up to date, but the last I saw back in April, one of their shows barely got 50,000 viewers. And we know Undisputed now is with Skip Bayless, who is it, Keyshawn Johnson, Richard Sherman during football season, and Paul Pierce. I don't even watch Undisputed no more. Matter of fact, I don't even get any clips really of Undisputed in my algorithm on YouTube because I just don't watch it. And I think they're struggling. So again, sometimes breakups can be a good thing. Sometimes it can push you to your destiny. And I think that's what Shannon Sharpe, this whole breakup. And a lot of times when a person show you who they truly are, believe him the first time. And I think Skip Bayless showed who he was with the disrespect to Shannon Sharpe that started with the Tom Brady, saying Shannon was jealous. That happened in December. I was watching that actual show. Then in January, with the unfortunate injury to Bills safety Damar Hamlin, and Skip would go on Twitter, which is known as X, and he basically kind of overlooked that and asked what was going to happen next because the game was canceled. Shannon Sharpe would not be on the show on Monday, but would come back Tuesday. On that was in January, and they would go at it. And then I knew that this relationship was done. But again, 7 years, they did great things. But again, sometimes a breakup can be a good thing for one and not so much a good thing for the other. That is my thoughts on this. I'd like to know yours in the comment section. Make sure you like, subscribe, and click that follow button. I am Kendrick the Sports Guy. We will see you on the other side. And on the next report, I am out. Peace.